What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to talk about Pokemon games that should exist, and for some reason, they just don't. And, Pokemon, incredible franchise. However, there are some missing spots in some of their games. We're going to break down the games that I hope to see someday for this franchise. And of course, guys, if you like this type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam. Then hit a join channel member button below. So let's dive into our first game, and there should be a Pokemon kart racing game similar to Mario Kart, and we all love Mario Kart for the most part, and the latest Mario Kart on the Switch of all the DLC is definitely the peak of its genre. But why can't Pokemon do this? Well, there actually is a history of Pokemon racing games. The first one being Pokemon Dash, and that game was on the DS. Pretty bad video game. As you can see on the screen here, it doesn't look that fun. I tried it. It's really not that much fun either, and it's not what I would think from a traditional racing game or even a kart racing game. It's like its unique own little thing. Now, there was another racing game released in 2005 on the PC that is Pokemon. However, as you can see on the screen, what is this game? Who was this for? This was worse than Flash games at the time that I could play on Newgrounds. So we really need a resurgence. Let's have Pokemon make a kart game similar to Mario Kart. I mean, there are mods that you can use Pokemon in Mario Kart, but it's not the same. I want an official game on official Pokemon tracks that we can race on, and so much more. Maybe have like special moves that Pokemon can use in the racing combat. That would be pretty sweet overall. Next, I want to see is a 2D Pokemon fighting game. So not like Pokken, because Pokken is like Tekken, and honestly, we need something more like a Street Fighter out here. And we made a video about this game earlier in the channel, but Pokemon Close Combat really is the closest we'll probably get to this. But honestly, it's a fan-made game. It's great. However, I do think if we get an official Pokemon 2D fighting game, maybe they can hire these devs from Pokemon Close Combat, or maybe they can work with like Capcom, get the Street Fighter team going. We can get something like this, but with a massive budget, and that can include a bunch of different Pokemon. I imagine a Pokemon fighting game would pretty much have like nearly all of the cool fighting type Pokemon, but also some other cool Pokemon that would be fun to play in a 2D fighting game setting. And I would just love to see this as something like an Evo. I think it'll be really cool and really hype, and it's definitely a big missed opportunity. The next type of new Pokemon games I want to see are Pokemon crossovers. Now, there's rarely ever any Pokemon collabs that occur in video games. We do see a lot of collabs when it comes to merchandising and like different brands and things like that, but we never really see it in actual video games. I mean, the closest thing we pretty much get is Smash Brothers, and Smash has like all of the Nintendo characters. Anyways, there's never really anything for Pokemon in general. Now, there was one that was supposed to come out. And reading this Game Informer article, if you remember the game Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which is the Atlas / Fire Emblem teams working together. So pretty much Persona and Fire Emblem had their own video game, came out on the Wii, and then you can pick it up on the Switch as a updated version. This was originally supposed to be a Pokemon game, so it was supposed to be a Persona-S style Pokemon game, which would have been really cool to think about it. Like, you would summon your Pokemon as like personas. You would carry like 6 of them on you at a time, and then when you summon them, they'll do an attack, go through turn-based battle if you're a team of 4. That would have been really sick, and I would have been a big fan of that. I would hope something like that could still come one day, because I mean, a lot of people love the Persona franchise, a lot of people love Atlas or SMT, so all that great stuff. It would be wonderful to see that, but it wasn't like we didn't get anything from this sort of thing, because instead of this game existing, we got another game on the DS called Pokemon Conquest, which is the Pokemon strategy role-playing game, which is actually really good, and unfortunately it did not sell enough to warrant a sequel. But it's definitely, I would love to see some sort of Pokemon strategy role-playing game similar to Conquest, if that's the best we can do. But for a crossover in general, I would love the Persona Pokemon game. Building social links with different trainers would be really sick, and then building bonds with your Pokemon via like the Velvet Room or whatever they would want to do it. I would be all aboard for it, but hopefully one day we see some more crossovers with this franchise. Now for the last Pokemon game we desperately need, and clearly the world wants this, is a Pokemon survival game. Now we all know Power World came out earlier this year. It broke some records and it sold like 20 million plus copies. An absolute phenomenon, a beast of a game. But I do want something similar for that for Pokemon, in the sense of a survival game. I don't want the guns or things like that. I think that's all unnecessary. But I do think the love and care that Game Freak or the Pokemon Company could put into a survival game would be really cool, right? And the point is, you can walk around, you can catch a wild Pokemon, and then you have them create your base for you. And then you can actually have in-depth battles, because, you know, Pokemon does have a great in-depth battle system. And I still think you can use the traditional turn-based battles with something like that. And I think it would be really fun and cool to just actually explore a world, build it up, similar to something like a Minecraft or a Dragon Quest Builders. And that would be really sweet. Now, there is a fan-made game called Pokemon Wilds. Now, Pokemon Wilds is a 2D game. It's similar to like gold, silver, and crystal graphics, but it includes nearly all the Pokemon, and it's exactly what I mentioned. It's just a 2D game. You're outside in a randomly generated world. Go out, you build a home, catch Pokemon, and thrive and survive. And this game has a lot of updates, so I definitely recommend checking it out. This is actually a game I want to play more and make its own video on, because I think Pokemon Wilds is a really special game. But hey, I would absolutely love to see Game Freak try something like this. And I don't think it'd be too hard to even do something like this. It's one of those things where I look at these fan-made games and I'm like, these guys aren't even getting paid, and they're doing this phenomenal, awesome work. I can totally see Game Freak do it. And I think Game Freak, Pokemon Company, they definitely noticed what happened with Power World. I do think at some point in the next few years, we will get some sort of survival game, and hopefully it lives up to the hype. But there we have it, guys. Those are all the Pokemon games I hope we see exist soon. Let me know in the comment section below what type of Pokemon games you want to see in the future, because honestly, this IP has so much that we can do, and I feel like the potential is being a little bit squandered right now. But let me know in the comment section below. And of course, guys, if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it, and catch you guys next time. Peace out. Have a good one.